Well, hi there. You're watching and or listening to Podcast is Broken. It's a podcast where we try to make Canadian news and politics a little bit more funner. My name's Brittlestar.
My name is Steve Boots, and I don't know why we're saying words like they're individual sentences, but we are.
Ellipses. My name is Lisa, and I don't have anything to add to this, so we're just going to get started.
Come on, man.
Hello, everybody.
You had a whole week.
Be funny.
Yeah, be funny.
I had a whole... Whoa. I am always funny.
How are you all doing?
Rageful as always.
Rageful.
You know.
That's good.
Doing well. The puppy has decided that sleep is a luxury that none of us are allowed.
Sleep optional.
Sleep is optional. It's so funny because like people, like I know it's such a cliche to say that it's kind of like preparation for having a kid or similar to having a kid.
Yeah.
It's not. It's wildly different, obviously, but it does get you used to not sleeping at night and having all of your routines screwed up.
I agree. We got a cat before we had the kids. We got a cat named Steve, and I may have told you the story, but I'll tell it again because it's such a good story.
I was unaware that you had named a cat after me.
Well, we did it in hopes that one day we'd meet. Shannon and I were like, one day you're going to meet this guy, and you're going to initially think he's, level-headed, and then you're going to find out he's a raging lefty.
That's me. Lived up.
That's your slogan. That's
What
me.
Wait.
What was the soundbite? Does Owen still have it?
Lived up.
There we go.
That was nice. That's good.
We just did that so he can't nap while we're
Exactly.
recording.
Keep him on his toes. We got a cat named Steve before we had kids. In the preparation of having kids, the idea was like, if we got to take care of something that's living, that's more animate, more automaton than a plant. And we got the cat. And the first week we were like, it was back in the 90s when candles were all the rage. And there was little tea lights, and we were drinking wine. Little tea lights or the candles are going. So it's beautiful. It's lovely. It's all it's like Friends After Dark. That's what it was like. And the cat jumped up on the coffee table. And we were like, oh, he's going to go for the flame. And he didn't go for the flame. He reached past the flame for a little piece of paper or something just to swat it off the thing. And as he reached past the right side of his body, all that little kitten fuzz went woof in a big blue flame. Isn't that terrible? And I pushed him off the coffee table. I rolled him on the carpet. He was totally fine, apart from some short whiskers on one side for about a year. But apart from that, he was okay. And we never did that once to Owen McGregor. So
when I first got my cat, I also learned you can no longer have lit candles around the house because they will just straight up light themselves on fire. There's no self-preservation instincts.
That's why they have 9 lives. They're good. They're fine.
That's right. What's that question you're asking about my shirt? Oh.
Stuart, I can't help but notice your shirt.
Well, thanks for asking about it, Steve. It's got a cat on it. Here, I'll stand up. Look at this. That's pretty good, isn't it?
It's a beautiful
Always
cat.
embracing the visual medium of podcasting.
A lot of people enjoy this on video, Steve.
What?
My favorite part of this shirt is the fact that this part looks like a pocket. It's not. It's just part of the print.
Oh, what does the cat mean?
Well, thanks for asking, Lisa. I have a book coming out, and it's out this very week on June 24th called Lessons from Cats for Surviving Fascism. There it is right there. If you're watching the video, my God.
Nice clear image too.
I know.
That's actually a genuinely fantastic cover. I kind of love
Isn't it though?
Yeah.
It's Albert Tang is the cover designer from Hachette Publishing, and the illustration of the cat and stuff is by Pablo Amargo. It's on sale in the US, Canada, and the UK as of June 24th. I'll be at Hatchard's in Piccadilly in London on the 26th wearing my red and black cat suit.
Now, just to clarify, is this a cat suit or is this a suit with cats?
I'm picturing Michelle Pfeiffer and Batman Returns.
Seriously, right? Like that's what I'm picturing. Just
I did have to take my catsuit trousers to the seamstress to get them let out slightly.
To the catsuit tailor?
Catsuit tailor. I brought them in, and her name is Sula, and she's amazing. And I've been going to her since I was probably about 20. And she said, oh, that's such a good suit. Such a good suit. She's an indeterminate accent. We don't know what she is. We think she might be Grook. It's possible. We're not sure. We can never tell. No one's ever asked.
Oh.
See, my favorite thing about tailors is that they're either in a storefront and look very serious and they do an okay job, or they're in a random garage and they do the greatest job you've ever seen.
It is kind of like that. It's down an alley downtown, and it's in a doorway that is like about a 2/3 height doorway. You have to step down into it. It's like a little hovel. It's like Lord of the Rings. No, that's not what I'm talking about. Whatever, the Hobbit, that type of stuff.
Yeah, Hobbit hole.
Yeah, a little Hobbit hole. That's what they're called, isn't it? And I brought it, and she's like, "Oh, it's so nice. It's so good. It's so good. So yeah, they don't quite fit." And she goes, "Oh, they're too big." And it's like, "Oh no. No. They're not too big. They barely fit."
Okay.
She went, "Oh, we fixed them up. I got a plan for you. Not a problem. Not a problem. You look so good in this suit." And I went back 3 days later to pick him up, and I came in to get I'm here to get my cat pants. And she said, "Oh, you look so good in this. You look so good."
I am genuinely so curious if you're going to get canceled over doing that voice. I am so eager to see.
By the elderly Greek community?
He's not making fun of. He's just.
No, I love the voice.
I'm just so curious to see who gets offended by you doing an accent of indeterminate origin.
I love it.
I think it's perfectly acceptable.
Yes.
And that's because I'm the guy doing it. So.
Obviously. Now do Jamaican.
Okay.
Wrap it up.
I used to do an amazing impersonation of my best friend growing up was Jamaican. His family's Jamaican, and his mother used to answer the door. And I won't do the accent, but she used to say, "Hainsley, the fuzzy-headed white boy's here to see you." When I did that accent, back when it was acceptable, 2015, 2016.
Back in the long ago.
Back in the long ago, it slayed. People loved it.
I love it.
And it was said with love. So what else is new with you guys? There's something happening in Alberta, I heard.
Just one thing?
Mm-hmm.
Do tell us, Steve. What's
Just
happening in
one at a time.
Alberta? Yeah.
So I am so glad that I get to be the one to tell Lisa about this. So for those who were following along with politics 21 months ago when this happened originally, Alberta was pushing their Alberta pension plan idea. Well, the Alberta government specifically.
Best idea.
Yeah, so essentially they decided
awesome
that they were entitled to a colossal share of the Canada Pension Plan Fund and decided that they wanted to bring that into Alberta. And it essentially wound up being they wanted it to be kind of like a sovereign wealth fund where they could invest it in resource projects in Alberta.
Oil.
Yeah, oil. Yeah, not wind, surprisingly enough.
No.
So after 21 months, huge shout out to Matthew Black from the Edmonton Journal, who has been chasing this story relentlessly and finally got the government to release the questionnaire booklets and the results of the survey. So 94,000 responses received between September 21st and December 10th. That is a gigantic survey.
I'm one of them.
Absolutely colossal survey.
Because
what percentage do you think supported an Alberta pension plan?
Before you reveal that number, because I think people give an idea of surveys, Angus Reid surveys are 1,700 people. Mm-hmm. Yeah. They're not very many people at all.
Your typical political surveys are between 1,000 and 2,000. If it's regional, it can get as low as 500.
And this is 94,000 responses.
Yes.
Okay.
I can't remember the last time I saw a survey this size. So what percentage do you think were in favor of an APP?
I snuck a peek, so I'm not going to tell you.
I'm going to guess that approved of it. I'm going to say 48%.
Lisa, you already peeked?
I peeked.
10%. 63% opposed, 12% undecided, unsure, and 15% were other or undecided, other, which includes questions, suggestions for alternatives, non-answers, and incomplete responses.
That's heartening, I think.
Oh, God.
Because Alberta gets a bad rap. People think Alberta, they go, "Oh, you're from Alberta," whatever. But I mean, I think it gives me hope.
Getting 63% of Albertans to share any opinion is impossible.
But I think that was the thing, is that it didn't really matter what political side you're on. When we're talking about your financial future, everybody is responsible for that, right? And so everybody is
right.
Yeah, I think was up in arms.
I will say my favorite part of this is that in the release of the data, somehow the Edmonton Journal got the Alberta government to release all of the feedback as well in a 394-page unsorted Excel spreadsheet. And it is the funniest stuff I have ever seen. Just all caps. We shouldn't be doing this. It's super dumb. Please stop. Quote, stay in the CPP. This is a half-baked plan by a party of grifters. I wouldn't trust the UCP to tie a pair of Velcro shoes. And then every subsequent response from that individual is just stay in the CPP, you effing clowns. Stay in the CPP, you effing idiots.
What I'm going to do if I should ever find spare time is I'm going to go through the responses. I want to see if mine's there. But I'm going to go through the responses and all the clever ones. I think we should have embroidered on like a t-shirt.
That's a good idea.
And send it to Danny for her birthday or something.
That's nice. I think that's nice. I'd like to see you do dramatic readings of these.
Oh my God.
They'd be really good.
Okay.
So what's very funny is like you can see there's responses to a series of different questions. And some people didn't answer all the questions. Some of them gave one answer and then just repeated the same answer again and again for every other one. So like, this is a terrible short-sighted idea. Don't do this. We are part of a country. Do unto others. And then every subsequent answer was just, don't do this. And there's so many. So to give you a sense, the word stupid is uttered 198 times.
It's pretty good considering.
Which is not bad. I mean, that's pretty low. It was 94,000 responses. But how many feedback pieces were there again?
Total written feedback, we are at like 6,200.
Okay. All right.
We like to be creative in Alberta. I'm sure there was there any douche canoe in those responses?
The F-bomb was dropped 255 times.
Nice. Fucking rights, Alberta.
There you go.
Unfortunately, the word douche was not uttered in any of them.
Okay.
It feels like a missed opportunity.
Changed days. I think it's changed days.
Yeah, well, and this was before the Trader days, so I don't think that would have been there either.
Some other keywords. Terrible. Terrible 233 times.
Wow. Monster? Was there monster there anytime?
Monster 3 times.
Oh!
Wow.
I don't think that was
one was calling the CPP a bureaucratic monster.
Oh, nice.
And 2 others are calling Danielle Smith a monster.
Fair.
Any other keywords you want me to peek for while I've got this at the ready?
Just trying to think of like what. Resign?
Ooh, resign. A dozen different people called for resignation.
That's pretty good.
One person whose answers were, get your filthy, rucking hands off my CPP, you ghouls. Resign and hang your head in shame for being so blatantly bad at being a human being. Do not touch the CPP. Stay in the CPP. And then resign, keep with the CPP, never entertain doing any public service again because you're beyond incompetent to think this is an idea worth considering. People were bringing the smoke in these answers.
Sometimes, not often, but sometimes I'm very proud of my province.
Yes.
Just Alberta pension plan feedback, bringing the heat. This is like probably, it's got to be the most entertaining spreadsheet I've ever encountered.
It's what I shall read before bed tonight.
So does this have any impact as far as, do you think, Lisa, does it has any impact in changing attitudes towards the UCP? Like, do you think that this is, because I know before we've asked you about the temperature.
Yeah.
But does this make you feel like, oh, okay, we might actually get out of this?
Yeah, I mean, it does. I think there's a lot of stuff happening right now. Like she had that town hall in Fort McLeod that did not go her way, and she was visibly upset about it. Right? Like I think in her mind, she feels like everybody is in line and she's doing what's right for Alberta. But when she actually comes face to face with people, humans, she doesn't get that same love and attention unless they've stacked the deck, right? So I think this survey is an example of that. People calling her out at the town hall, the ex-mayor of Lethbridge or whatever it was, calling her out at the town hall. Like, I mean, I think between the CPP, separatism, healthcare, like, I think there's a lot of people, regardless of your political ideology, that are starting to go, what? Like, none of this is working, right? So we'll see. We'll see, but...
So the Alberta government did have a response to this.
Woke leftist bots.
And I quote,
"Oh God.
While recent surveys on an APP show public opinion may be shifting, we will continue to engage with Albertans on this topic through the Alberta Next panel. The Alberta Pension Protection Act guarantees we won't replace the CPP with an Alberta pension plan unless Albertans approve it in a referendum."
So we're going to spend
They're
money
not
on
even really taking the L here. They're just like, they'll come around.
They put it on the back burner for a while and didn't really mention it because I'm sure they got these results and were like, but this party seems to love a referendum. So we'll see.
I do suspect, though, that's why it's coming out now, 21 months after the fact, is they let the data get kind of stale.
Yeah.
Like this story has sort of passed the
Yeah.
public eye a little bit.
Yeah.
And so I feel like they must have known they couldn't hold on to this forever. And so they kind of released it in sort of a moment in the news cycle that they felt was most advantageous to them, that they would, like, nobody is noticing this amid the heat that they're getting for 20 bazillion other ridiculous things, you know?
Until now.
Until now. Wouldn't it suck if some smartass with a podcast started talking about it? My goodness.
What if somebody made a video just reading them out loud? I don't know. It could happen.
Exactly. Some nice chamber music in the background.
Right?
I think that'd be nice.
Little candlelight, no cats.
Yes.
And then
no cats. Yeah.
I'm very excited to see your TikTok about this.
I know, I'm very excited as well. Well, I think I mentioned to you before we started recording that I had a glorious moment today where I couldn't remember Danielle Smith's name. I remember Smith, and that was it.
Calgon, take me away.
And then it punched you in the face.
And it was like, that was nice for a bit. That was a nice little break. Well, shall we move on to other stories?
There's other
but I
stories.
wanna read more quotes.
What else is
There's other story. I know this is kind of exciting news because I was unaware of this entirely. But it's honestly, it's been really heartening. It's been because I think to myself, I mean, we've kind of talked about how there's this perception that people in the west of Canada think that the rest of Canada thinks about them, specifically in Alberta. And there is a
Just say it. Just say it.
No, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to do the Jamaican accent. I'm not going to make fun of Albertans. But there is a little bit of that perceived idea or stereotype of Albertans being, pickup trucks and testicles hanging off the back and they're all a bit sort of funky yeehaw. And when you go to Alberta, especially Edmonton or Calgary, you're like, it's not like that. This is like, there's definitely a Western influence, but it's not like that. So this actually makes me think, okay, this is maybe good. If this news gets out to the rest of the country, they might be like, you know what? Alberta's all right. Alberta's okay.
I'm not going to push that, but
Okay.
I think, there's hope. I mean, there's hope. There are a lot of us that are reasonable. And like I said, with some of the stuff that's coming up in Alberta, I think it's becoming harder and harder for people who are staunch UCPers to overlook there's no other word, but idiocy of some of the things that's happening, the money that's being wasted, all that kind of stuff. So we'll see.
The real question is, are truck nuts gender affirming care?
Yes. The irony of the truck nut bros adding them to their truck that was not born with nuts.
No.
It's a boy, damn it.
It's a boy truck.
You can find past episodes and more at podcastisbroken.ca or your favorite podcast platform.